This is a trigonometry question about transforming trigonometric functions. It's got a hint here. I guess it's a problem. Here's a hint. Remember to factor b. I want this to look like f of x equals a trig. That could be sine, cosine, tangent, secant, cosecant, cotangent, whatever. B times x minus c plus d, where d is the shift up down with sign, c is the shift left right opposite of sign. B defines the change to the period for sine, cosine, secant, cosecant. The new period is going to be 2 pi divided by b. How often it repeats, like one cycle is that width. And then for tangent and cotangent, it's pi over b. So I've got those. And then A is, sometimes they call it a compression, whether it stretches it or shrinks it, it's still called a compression. Different words are used for it. But if it's more than one, it's going to stretch it. If it's less than one, it's going to shrink it. If it's negative, it's going to turn it upside down. Then, of course, to do these, I have to know what the parent function looks like. And then I can, the reason I wrote this is so I can convert this into this. And I will do it now. I'm going to put 2 sine, and I'll put the plus 1 at the end. I'm going to remember to factor b. I'm going to factor out 2 pi over 3, and that's going to give me, is it an x minus, what's pi over 6 divided by 2 pi over 3? That's the same as pi over 6 times 3 over 2 pi. And the pi's cancel out. 3 goes into 3 once, into 6 twice. That's 1/4. So it's x minus 1/4. And then it's going to be plus 1. I'm going to put that 1 at the end. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my max, my minimum, and my midpoint. With tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant, first thing I would do is find the asymptotes. But with sine and cosine, I'm going to find the max min. The maximum for sine and cosine is plus 1, the minimum is minus 1, and the midline is 0. But now I'm stretching this by 2, so it's going to be 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 0, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. But then I'm also moving it up 1. That's going to be 3, 1, and minus 1. So there's my maximum, my midline, and my minimum. And where's it? Now, what does sine do? I have to know sine. Sine starts at 0, goes to the maximum, then back to 0, or back to its midline, then to the minimum, then to the midline. And this, it happens at the start. This is at the end of one cycle. This is the halfway point. This is the 1/4 point. This is the 3/4 point. So that's what I have to calculate here. I have to know where my graph is going to start, what the end point is, so I need to know the period, and then what the midpoint is, the 1/4 and 3/4 point. So how am I going to find the period of this one? Well, it's going to be 2 pi divided by 2 pi over 3. Let's see, 2 pi divided by 2 pi over 3, which is multiplied by 3 over 2 pi. I just flip it and multiply. That's equal to 3. So the period is 3. Where does it start? Well, sine usually starts at 0, but this one says minus 1/4. It's opposite of sine, so it's to start at 1/4 or 0.25. So that's going to be the start. I need the halfway point, which is going to be here, the 1/4, 3/4, and end point. So the end is, I add 3 to that, 3.25. What's the halfway point? 3.25 plus 0.25 is 3.5. Half of that is 1.75. So the midpoint is 1.75. Then I need the 1/4 point. 1.75 plus 0.25 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. And then the 3/4 point. 1.75 plus 3.25 is 5, divided by 2 is 2.5. And then again, I have to know what sine does in all these places. It's going to be at the midline here, the midpoint, and at the end. And then it's going to be at the high point at 1, and it's going to be the low point at 2.5. And so that's one cycle. I've got one cycle figured out. Now I have to figure out the second cycle. I didn't put it here, but the question says do 2 cycles. So here's 1/4, half, 3/4, end. So it's going to start, the second cycle starts at 3.25, ends at 6.25. I add 3 to that. And the midline, or not the midline, the middle of it is 6, 7, 8, 9. Have I done something wrong here? 3.25 plus 3 is 6.25. 9.5 divided by 2 is, oh no, I have it, 4.75. I thought I did something wrong. 4.75 is the middle of that cycle. Then I have to find the 1/4 point, the 3/4 point. 7.758 divided by 2 is 4. I just add them, divide by 2, add them. 10, 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. I was remembering that 5.5 when I did this one. I thought I did something wrong. And so now I know again, it's going to be at 1 in the beginning, the midline, 1 in the middle, 1 at the end. That's what sine does. It's at the midline at the beginning, the middle, and the end, and that goes up to the maximum at the 1/4 point, which is 3, and down to the minimum at the 3/4 point. Now, I'm not going to draw this. You have to draw it, but I'm going to do this on Desmos. So I'm going to write the original function, 1 plus 2 sine. On the test, you're going to have to draw it, so practice doing that. 2 pi over 3, and then minus pi over 6. And I just want to show here that the new function, I guess I have to put y equals, oh, I didn't put an x. That's why it's not drawing anything. I forgot the x. I think I don't need the y. No, I don't even need the y. So, and now I'll put the new function I found, 2 sine 2 pi. This is when I rearranged it over 3, factored out the b, so I could see what the b is, x minus, what was it, 1/4. Just want to show that these are the same, plus 1. See? Same function. And now note, the points where it's at 1 is at 0.25, 1.75, 3.25, 4.75, and 6.25. Let me check it out. Oh, let me put those in there. Y equals 3. Y equals 1. Y equals -1. All right, and I will show you. It's at 0.25, 1.75, 3.25, 4.75. I don't know why that one's sticking. How did I get that one to stick? I don't know. Did I double click on it? I don't know. However, I got it to stick. 4.75 and then 6.25. And that's 2 cycles. 1, 2 up to 6.25. It's going to be at the maximum at 1 and 4. Check it out. There's that x equal 1, x equal 4. It's going to be at the minimum at x equal 2.5 and 5.5. 2.5 and 5.5. So that's it. It is graphed. Now I don't have to on this one because it doesn't actually go past the y-axis, but I could calculate the 0 when x is 0, the y-intercept in other words, and it would be 0, 0. I would just plug in 0 for x. 1 plus 2 sine 2 pi over 3 times 0 minus pi over 6. The sine of negative pi over 6 is -1/2. 2 times -1/2 is -1. 1 plus -1 is 0. But I don't need that because I've got 2 cycles starting from 0.25. One cycle up to 3.25, and then the second cycle up to 6.25. And that's how it is done. So step 1, make sure it's in this format so you can see all the shifts and figure out the period and so forth. Find the max, the midpoint, the min. Find what those are going to be. Find what the new period is. And then draw the start point. Find the horizontal shift. Draw the start point, the end point, and then take halfway between them. And then the 1/4 point, the 3/4 point, and then draw your sine graph accordingly. Well, this is just y equals sine x. draw your assigned graph, your shifted graph accordingly, which I just let Desmos do it, but again, Desmos, you'll have to draw it by hand, but you can see what it looks like, and all the right numbers are right here in this table.